Hi, friend. My name is Brooke Benton, and today I'm here to lead you through Rock and Roll. It's a hybrid class of Pilates mat meets foam rolling, so you can expect strength, length, and recovery here in this one session. All you need is a dense foam roller and then a mat that's nice and cushioned so it feels great on that spine as we're doing spinal imprinting. Go ahead and grab yourself a tall glass of water, and let's get started. We're going to begin with your legs out in front of you, your foam roller in between your two hands. Lay back down on your mat and reach the foam roller along overhead. This is called a Pilates roll-up. You're going to begin by rounding your back and coming up to seated. Next, fold forward as you reach, ideally taking the foam roller towards the toes. Rise up, sit nice and tall, and then slowly imprint each vertebra one at a time as you lower back down to the ground. Touch the foam roller overhead and begin another roll-up. Peel that spine up off of the ground. If you find your feet are leaving the floor, you can modify this by bending the knees, and that should help you as you come up to keep your heels grounded. Slowly roll down and tap overhead. Focus on your abdominal muscles as you slowly roll up. Exhale as you fold forward, feeling that nice length through the hamstrings. Inhale, rise up, drop the shoulders. Exhale, slowly lower down one vertebra at a time. Touch the shoulders down to the ground, then bring the foam roller back overhead. Nice. You should notice with each successive roll up, you feel a little bit more fatigued. It gets more challenging. That's a good thing. That means you're getting the muscular endurance intended during these Pilates roll-ups. Again, try to incorporate your breath here. Inhale brings you up. Exhale folds you forward. Inhale up. And exhale lower. I encourage you to try to breathe the inhale through your nose and then expel the exhale out through the mouth. Inhale up through the nostrils. Exhale out with an open jaw. Inhale up. And exhale, slowly lower down. In between, coming up and rolling forward, try to hit that beautiful posture at the top, sitting up straight and tall. Tall sit right here, fold forward, nice length. Reach up, and then take your time lowering down. Excellent. We have two more roll-ups. Slowly coming up. You're pointing your toes as if you're trying to reach towards something you can't quite touch. Your heels are together, your toes are turned out. Slowly lower. And one more roll up. Hello, abdominal muscles. We're feeling you right here. Exhale, fold. Hello, hamstrings. We are feeling the length, and we need that. We need that flexibility. Reach up and hold it right here. We're going to go ahead and take the legs around the back. I know we didn't quite finish that roll up, and that is okay. You did plenty of them. We're going to rest the foam roller right underneath your hip bones. So not on your hips, directly underneath your hip bones. Your elbows are under your shoulders. Now I want you to allow your legs to just go limp. Relax those muscles in your legs. We're going to start walking the elbows out, allowing the foam roller to massage the quadriceps. Take the quadriceps roll until the foam roller is right above the knee. Then roll back the other way. Our quads do tend to get really, really tight, so don't be surprised if these first couple of rolls are extremely uncomfortable for you. If you find a sticking point, feel free to just stay there, hold it, maybe even scan side to side until that point releases. I know when those muscles are resisting this, that tissue is resisting this, all you want to do is tense up. I encourage you to try to relax into the roll. One more, out and in. Walking the elbows out, we're in no rush here. And take it back in. We're going to stick with the quadriceps roll, but I want to get a little bit on that outside part of the quads by turning the toes in and the heels out. It's It's going to feel kind of awkward, but try to turn your toes in and your heels turn out. We're still rolling the quads. You're just getting a little bit of the lateral part of the quadriceps muscles. And take it back in. Nice. And you will feel your shoulders get a little fatigued from holding your upper body up as we do these quad rolls. Walking it out slowly and bringing it back in. I know it's a little painful right now, but this is so good for you, so restorative. Take it out. And walk the elbows back in. We're going to reposition. They're at the hips to get the inside of the quads. You're going to turn your heels in and your toes out. Start walking the elbows out. Feel that? You're massaging the inside of your quadriceps, the more medial part of your quads. You're like, aren't I rolling my adductors here? Well, a little bit. You're feeling more the inside part of your quads than adductors. And roll it back in. You're taking it to the limit, right there where you're almost going to the knee but not quite, and then roll back to where you're almost touching your hip bones but not quite. One more time. Walk the elbows out. And then walk the elbows back in. Very nice. Come to all fours to release your foam roller. Tricep push-up position. You want to have a straight line from your shoulder to hip and hip to heel. If you're not quite strong enough yet to do tricep push-ups on your toes, feel free to drop your knees down to the ground. You'll do one tricep push-up and then a side plank. Lengthen. To the other side. One tricep push-up, side plank. When you do the side planks, feel free to drop your bottom knee as a modification right here. One more to the back. Excellent. Tricep push-up. Turn to the front. We're going to reach over. Back to side plank. We're going to weave through. And up. Nice. Length over. Lift your hip high to the ceiling. Side plank. Twist through. Nice rotation for that trunk. And up. Very nice. We got two more of each. Lengthen. And twist. Once more. Hips high to the sky. Side plank. Twist it through. And up. We're going to go to the other side. Just swish the legs over to the other side. Lift it up. Over and under. Twist after we lengthen. Right here, twist through. Nice. Exhale, lift. Inhale, back to side plank. Exhale, twist through. Inhale, back to side plank. Again, twice more of each. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Beautiful. One more of each. Excellent. Take your foam roller. What we're going to do is place this foam roller right past your hip bone. Not on the bone, right past it. To roll out your IT band. You come down to your forearm. You can have your legs staggered like mine are. You can stack your feet or make it a little easier by placing your front foot over and kind of using that to help push against the floor. That way you don't have quite as much body weight pushing down on this foam roller, which is then massaging the IT band. You can start slowly moving that elbow out away from you. Ay, caramba. When you get to right above the kneecap, you come back the other direction. If you find a sticking point, maybe hold it there. And again, you can use that front foot here as a little modification and a guide as well, helping you to roll out and back in. What I don't want you doing is scooting out of the way when you hit a sticking point. When you hit a place that's really tender, try not to roll forward or roll backwards to kind of escape that. Stay right there where it's tough. In fact, you may need to hold it there at that point that it feels really, really challenging. The name IT band is a little bit of a misnomer. This connective tissue is actually not very flexible at all. So when you think of band, you kind of think like a rubber band, but that's not the case here. In fact, when you think that you're stretching your IT band, it's usually not the case. The IT band, though, does tend to stick to the quadriceps, and that's why rolling out the quadriceps is a really good idea too. Rolling them out and stretching the quads, really good. Again, take it out away from you. Guide if you'd like with the front foot. Don't worry, we're getting the worst of it done with first. These rolls that are really quite uncomfortable for most people, we're knocking out in the beginning of our session. One more, take it out. And take it back in. I have good news and I have bad news. Good news is you've rolled the IT band on one side. Bad news is we have the other side. Position that foam roller right beneath your hip bone. Your foot can stay behind, on top, or use it as a guide in the front. Pick your option, and let's start rolling out. Taking the elbow away from you. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Moving quick with foam rolling does nobody any good. You're not actually getting that deep massage in your soft tissue if you're moving too quickly. And I did recommend that you use a dense foam roller so that you're really able to get in there. If you're just getting started with foam rolling though, a dense foam roller may be a little bit too much for you. You may have to work your way up to that. I even like to use a vibrating foam roller. You can find those just about anywhere now. And take it back out. I know it's uncomfortable, it's not pleasant, but it is so good for you. It's going to help make you more mobile. So we're not just massaging for the heck of it. You're going to get better range of motion, deeper range of motion by freeing up this damaged, dry, dehydrated tissue. Massage it and be sure you're drinking plenty of water. Find that sticking point like I just found, hold it there, breathe into that area. It will release, it will relent, but you may just have to stay here a little bit. Let's go one more, all the way out and all the way back in before returning for Pilates mat. Nice. Way to go. You have survived what most people consider to be the most uncomfortable rolls with a foam roller, and that is quads and IT bands. We're going to take the legs out away from you. You can prop your head up with your elbow. You can stay right here, or join me taking one arm out and then using the biceps as a pillow. We're going to angle the legs towards the opposite corner of your mat so your body looks like a boomerang. By doing so, you're going to feel more stable when we lift one leg for tap, tap, abduction, tap, tap, abduction. It's called hot potato in Pilates. We're going to lift your top foot, point your toes, tap twice to the front, then lift up high to the sky, heels tap twice to the back, lift. Tap, tap, rise, tap, tap, rise. Point your toes to the front, flex your foot as your heel taps to the back. So most of us need to be doing more work where the leg goes away from the midline of the body. This is called frontal plane work. We do a lot in what's called the sagittal plane, where we go front and back, like walking, lunging, squatting. We need to do more in the frontal plane. So good for the side of the hip, the gluteus medius muscles, and that helps to support your lower back. And one more hot potato. Down, down, up, down, down, and up. Nice. Help yourself up, or you guys can just roll your body over to the other side. Only difference is you won't see the screen if you do so. We're gonna, again, angle that body like a boomerang. Toes to the opposite corner of the mat. Lift the top foot, tap it. Twice, twice, lift, heels, lift, tap, tap, up, heel, heel, up. As we age, most of us find we get less and less limber. That's not because you're aging, it's probably because you're not going through range of motion. You're not working on flexibility, and if you don't use it, you lose it. What you're doing right here is so good for working all around the hip, taking that hip out into the frontal plane as you abduct. Four, three, two. Very nice. One more. Help yourself up to seated. Scoot your legs on over. Lay back. Float your knees right up over your hips. Look towards your navel and lift your shoulders off of the ground. Reach your fingertips like you're trying to reach for something you cannot quite touch further away from you. This would be a great place to start for a Pilates 100. If you want to advance it, extend the knees. And if you'd like to make it even more challenging, drop the legs a little closer to the ground. We're going to pulse the arms vigorously as if there's a pond of water underneath you and you're trying to create a ripple in that pond. You'll breathe audibly in through the nostrils for 5 beats and out through the mouth for 5 beats. Like this. Try that with me. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 10. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 20. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 30. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 40. Drop the legs a little bit if you can. So 2, 3, 4, 50. Halfway. 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 60. Pump a little more vigorously. 70. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 80. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 90. One more breath cycle. 100. Bring the knees in towards your chest. Rest your head down on the ground. Gently just shake your head no. Releasing any tension in that cervical spine as you just shake your head out. Rock yourself up to seated. And take your foam roller. We're going to roll your glutes. Have a seat on your foam roller. All you're going to do is cross one ankle over the opposite thigh. Lean your body weight into the side of that leg that's crossed over. Then gently begin rolling the foam roller all over that fleshy part of your glute. Doesn't that feel amazing? If you lean a little bit more in, over to the side, closer to the hip bone, boy, you're going to be feeling this amazing through the piriformis. You know, your glutes are the most powerful muscles in your entire body. Don't you think you need to roll them? Don't you think you need to stretch them? Tight muscles or weak muscles? We need to be sure that we are rolling out the big house, the glutes. If you find that sticking point, maybe you hold it there. I do like using a foam roller to roll the glutes. I also like a massage ball. A large massage ball works really well for really getting into those delicate areas in the glute muscles. Let's go 2 more right here. You're rolling around from closer to the hip to closer to the mid part of the rear end. Nice. Go ahead and switch sides. Other leg crosses over. And you lean over into the glute on that side as you roll the massage from the bottom of the glute to the top of the glute. This is an area nobody else is going to massage for you, so you guys need to really get in there and do some work releasing the glute here with the roller. Do play around with leaning more toward the hip, getting in there to the piriformis. It might be a little angry at first. Give it some time. Don't rush it. Slow movements go far with foam rolling. When we come back to Pilates mat, I'll be introducing you to my favorite Pilates move of all time. It's called Roll Like a Ball. Let's go 2 more glute rolls on the side. When you roll down, you almost get to the top of your hamstrings, not quite. And once more. Fantastic. Go ahead and place your foam roller aside. And move forward where you have a lot of mat room behind you. Place your hands behind your glutes. Now lift your feet up off of the ground, angling your toes back down towards the floor. Go ahead and lift your hands. Right now you should find this isn't very challenging. I could hold this all day long. That's because you're sitting on what's called your ischial tuberosity. We're very good sitting on our sits bones muscles. What I want you to do is roll back about 1 inch, maybe 2 inches. All it takes is about 1 inch on that spine. Now release the hands and hold. Whoa. Should be a completely different story here. Like a strong wind would knock you over. You're quivering through the middle muscles to hold this balance point. This is your starting and ending point for every roll like a ball. Not where we were sitting up here where it's nice and cushy and comfortable. Right here where it's very difficult to maintain balance. Your hands are barely touching your ankles if they're touching them at all. You can keep your arms open if you'd rather. The tighter you pull your heels in towards your glutes, the harder roll like a ball will be. So if you're just getting started, maybe take the legs out slightly. We're gonna roll back right between your shoulder blades, that meaty part of your scapula, right between your shoulder blades, then return right here where you started, keeping your back rounded like an angry cat. Inhale takes you back, exhale brings you up. Try that again. Inhale back, and exhale up. Now try not to flick your legs for momentum, that is cheating, So inhale with control, exhale. There you are. You see where I'm talking about flicking the legs that would help you come up? We don't do that here. Inhale back. Exhale, rise. Very nice. Repeat it. We are by no means exhausting Pilates mat exercises today. so much, so much more in the Pilates mat repertoire. And we're just kind of scratching the surface here as we build this hybrid class of foam rolling with Pilates. Each roll like a ball should be more challenging than the one before. Again, as those muscles get a little bit more and more fatigued. So if that is the case for you, good news is you're doing it right. Inhale, exhale. Fantastic. One more roll like a ball. Great. Take your foam roller. We're going to use this now to massage the hamstrings. The thing is, a foam roller doesn't get really deep into those hammies. Even a really dense foam roller, it's not going to get real deep in there. So a massage ball can work really good. A massage gun works really good. You could also get an Olympic bar. Use an Olympic bar, have a bench on each side, low to the ground that it's resting on to lift it, and then you would do the same thing, rolling over that bar. You're definitely going to feel that. So what I want you to do right now, top leg crosses over the bottom leg. The origin of the hamstrings is where we get started. And we take it all the way down to where you're right above the knee, right above the back of the knee. Walk it back in. Doesn't matter to me whether you're on flat hands or you're perched up on your fingertips. Walk it out. Some of you have hamstrings that are so stinking tight, you're like, oh, I'm feeling it big time, even with the foam roller. Well, friend, you definitely need to be doing some stretching, some foam rolling on a regular basis. And once more. Take it on back in. Very nice. We're just going to take the other leg down into the foam roller, cross the top leg over on your tippy tops of your fingers or flat hands. Walk those hands out away from you. And stop when the foam roller is just above the back of the knee. If you're like me and you do a lot of kettlebell work, you're constantly firing up those hamstrings. So things like this are incredible for keeping healthy hamstrings, keeping them mobile, keeping them flexible. One more time, let's walk that foam roller out away from you by taking the hands further back. And then walk those hands back in towards the roller. You'll stop when that foam roller is right at that crease where your hamstrings meet your glutes. Nice, and release the foam roller. It was a great time to do the hamstrings release because now we have what's called an open leg rocker. It's a progression of roll like a ball. You could begin just by holding behind the hamstrings and taking the shins parallel to the ground. But your progression is to hold behind the calves and lift those legs out to a V. So you start here in your V sit. You roll back right between the shoulders and return right where you started. You're going to find that your middle muscles are coming in and out, trying to help you find that balance point. And that is a beautiful thing. If you are having that experience, it's a good thing. That's your core muscles firing up, trying to help you find that balance point. Roll like a ball. Inhale takes you back. Exhale brings you up. This is an open leg rocker. Open leg rocker. It's a progression of roll like a ball. Inhale. Exhale. You can always do this with those knees bent, holding right behind the hamstrings, or maybe a combination of each. If your hamstrings are super tight, perhaps you can't get all the way out, but you could have a slight bend in the knee here. Find your option. Inhale, roll back. Exhale, up and hold. We have two more. Inhale, rolls back. Exhale, Rise and hold. Feel free to modify anytime if it gets a little bit too much. One more, open leg rocker. Beautiful. Take your foam roller. This time we're going to place it right under your knee, the top of the calves. This is another tough one. It is a super tough one. You're going to lift your glutes up off of the ground. I've crossed the top leg over so I can isolate one leg at a time for calves. You could work both at the same time, but we're going to just stay right here, massaging the calves right now. You're about halfway down, right in the middle of the calves muscles. You want to take it all the way to the Achilles tendon, right above the heel, and start rolling back the other way. If you find a sticking point, just hold it. I tend to find it's my runners that have the most jacked up calves. Runners really need to spend some time stretching and massaging those calves because they get pretty angry with all the running you're doing. It's kind of the forgotten muscles, right? We remember the big ones, but then, oh, the calves? Yes, you need to work the calves out. Nice job. We've got one more. Roll it out. Stop at any time. Also, if your wrists are bothering you, stop and roll out your wrists at any time. We're just going to walk it back in before switching legs. Very nice. Have a seat. Cross the other leg over. You're just going to let your muscles relax into the foam roller. Lift up, walk it out. Ooh. Nobody said it was easy, but it's going to feel incredible when this is over and your body is so much more mobile, so much more limber than you felt when you were constricted before we got started. A lot of people, that really challenging spot, that really possibly damaged spot, is up towards the top of the calf, really close to the back of the knee. Some of you are thinking, well, for me, the entire calf is a little jacked up, a little bit irritated. Okay, well, it's good we're working on it. Again, if this is a little much for your wrists or your shoulders, take a break at any time and then return to us. So all we're going to do is walk it back out and in, out and in. 2 more reps, full range for those calves. And let me warn you, our next move with Pilates is a core killer. It's called a teaser. I like to think teasers are pleasers, but you may have a different impression. We're only doing 6 of them, that's all. They're a very difficult exercise, so it's nice to know how many moves you're going to be doing. Only 6 reps. And walk those hands back in. Safely drop your glutes down to the ground, release the arms, remove the foam roller, and let's set it up for teasers. All I want you to do is assume that V-sit like you did an open leg rocker. If this is too much, feel free to bend the knee slightly. Drop 1/3 of the way down with the upper and lower body. Drop 2/3 of the way down, upper and lower body. Now drop all the way down to a hover. Reach the arms long overhead. Exhale, right back up to starting. Ooh, that is a teaser. You drop 1/3 of the way down, upper and lower body. Drop 2/3. Drop down to a hover, reach long overhead. Exhale. Right back where you started. That's 2 down, 4 to go. Drop 1/3 of the way down. 2/3 drop. Drop down to a hover. Reach long. Exhale up. V-sit. Halfway. Do it again. Drop 1/3. Drop 2/3. Drop down to a hover right above the ground. Try to keep your shoulders lifted. Arms overhead. Exhale up. Twice more. Drop 1/3 of the way down. 2/3. And drop to hover. Reach long overhead. Exhale up to finish. One more rep. Drop 1/3. Drop 2/3. Drop down to a hover. And exhale. Right to that V-sit. Done with those. Foam roller, upper back roll. So we're going to place the foam roller right about the bottom of your sports bra. Fellas, you know what I'm talking about. Right there where the lady's bottom of her sports bra would be. Maybe you lift your hips slightly, you don't have to. Interlock your fingers, reach your arms towards the ceiling. Now I want you just rolling. About 4 inches up and 4 inches back down here. You've still got your fingers interlocked. I just want to make sure you're hearing me with my mic. Next, we're going to lean over to one side. So you're getting the upper traps on one side. Roll it. How amazing is that? Feels so good in those tight trap muscles. Excellent. To the other side. Roll it. So you're rolling just beneath the shoulder, then back to the bottom of the sports bra. Back to center. And help yourself up to seated. Place your foam roller behind you or in front of you, wherever you want to place yours down. I'm going to assume plank position. Join me. So your hands are underneath your shoulders and your toes are gripping the floor. Now I know we've done a lot with your wrists today, so you may need to drop down to the forearms, and that's totally fine. Our next series can be done on the hands or on the forearms. You're going to lift one leg. Beat 3 times, 3 little pulses. And then other leg. 3 pulses, 2, and switch. This is strengthening your gluteus medius, the largest muscles in your butt, which are also the strongest muscles in your body. If you're not doing a lot of strength training for your glutes, you're never going to be very powerful. You've got to work those glutes to get strong, really developed booty muscles. It will make you a stronger runner. It'll make you a stronger cyclist. It'll make you a stronger power walker. It also supports the rest of the body. So we need to work on strong glutes and also limber glutes. So also foam rolling them out, massage ball, massage gun. Gotta work it out. Nice. 2 more. And 1 more. We're going to change these pulses to hip abduction. Lift then out. So lift, abduct, in and down. Lift up, abduct, in and down. So when we lift up, you're firing gluteus medius. When we go out, you're firing gluteus minimus and medius, the side parts of the rear end that help to support a healthy back, healthy lower back. Bet you didn't know that a lot of times the root of low back problem isn't low back at all. It's weak gluteus medius and minimus, the outside booty muscles. We got 2 more. And 1 more. Excellent job, you guys. Take your foam roller, place it right underneath your hips. So your hip bones are slightly over the foam roller. The tops of the thighs are resting in it. You can take your face just all the way down to the ground using your hands as a pillow. You can take your arms out away from you if you'd like. We're going to lift one leg and then take that heel back behind you. You will feel a little bit of a roll there in the quadricep and then roll on over to the IT band. But what we're doing here is unlocking the iliopsoas, the hip, on that top leg. Also feels amazing in the back. Stretching in the bottom shoulder. That's on the back side. Feel that stretch in the backside shoulder. Gently bring the leg back over. And switch sides. Nice rotation here. It's a twist. Breathe into it. I know this is challenging. Hold it here. Opening the top hip, stretching the bottom shoulder. Nice twist through that spine. And a little bit of a foam roll technique there in the quad and then IT band. Slowly bring it back. Nice. Help yourself up, remove the foam roller. Back to triceps push-up position. But we're going to take the hands, instead of right underneath the shoulders, back a little bit to where at the bottom they're going to be even with the low ribs. Slowly lower down to the ground, elbows straight back like slots in a toaster. Now, lift up, hyperextend through the lower back. Extend your elbows, firing up your triceps. Take it back in. And lower your forehead back down to the ground. Optional tricep push-up. You don't have to add the tricep push-up. Optional. Down. Back hyperextension. Extend the elbows. And draw the hands back in, keeping your elbows in tight. Forehead to the ground. Optional tricep push-up. Feel free to drop down to the knees. This time, if you'd like to, you can lift your legs as well. As you hyperextend, lifting your chest, maybe lift the legs as well. Extend your elbows, fire up the triceps. Sweep the hands back in, keeping your elbows in tight. Lower down to the ground. And grip the floor with the toes. Lift up, or not. Lower down through tricep push-up if you'd like. Back hyper with or without the legs. Extend the elbows. Sweep your hands back in, right to those low ribs. Lower down. Optional tricep push-up. Hyperextend through the low back and lift the legs if you'd like. Strengthening the glutes and the lower back. Extend the elbows, strengthening the triceps. Sweep the hands back in. Drop your forehead down to the ground. One more optional tricep push-up. Hyperextend through the lower back. Optional, lift the legs. Extend the elbows, strengthen the triceps. Sweep the hands back in and lower all the way down. Make your way into child's pose. Knees out, big toes together. Just sink your hips back towards your heels. Mama's about to make it all okay. Gonna make it all okay here. You're gonna take your back arm, twist it through, palm facing up. Take your front hand, wrap it around your waist, hook into your opposite hip crease. Release, other side. Twist. Take that top arm, weave it around, hook into your opposite hip crease. Gazing above your shoulder on that arm that's wrapped around, binding into the hip. Try to gaze over that shoulder. And release your bind. Come back to seated. Take your foam roll right behind your low back. Lay back. Your hips will leave the ground. Let your shoulder blades fall down into the floor. If it's available to you, out with the legs. Just resting the foam roller right above your hip bones and your low back. Walk the heels out a little further, taking the foam roller to mid-back. Your glutes may almost touch the ground right here. Some of you may have your glutes all the way on the floor. And walk the heels out a little further, taking the foam roller into your upper back. Your head's just falling backward. And walk the feet out one more time, taking the foam roller to the back of the neck. And when you get it there, you're just going to shake your head no. Atlas and axis are the tops of your spine, the very tippy top. That's where you're at right now. Let's start making our way back down. Taking the foam roller between your shoulder blades. Rest. And then take the heels again a little closer towards you. Foam rollers mid-back. Arms may be out like an iron cross. Walk the heels in a little bit closer. Foam roller is now right above your hip bones. Hold it right there. Feels so good as you just rest your body into that foam roller. Deep breaths. The foam roller is just above your hip bones. You're not quite feeling the foam roller in the tops of the glutes. You're in your lower back. And then bend your knees. Give it a little hip bridge to remove the foam roller from underneath you. I think it's sufficient to say I know what your favorite roll was of the day, that finisher, right? I hope you enjoyed Rock and Roll, combining Pilates mat that developed core strength and amazing flexibility with foam rolling that helped to recover all that damaged tissue in your body. So that's Rock and Roll. My name is Brooke Benton, and I hope to see you in another workout sometime very soon.